because my lifestyle cannot survive on $199, whatever the heck I'm making.
The $44 special is not going to pay for fuel on the boat.
How many $44 specials I got to fill up this yacht? I can't fill up 40. There's not enough $44 specials in the world. There's a lot of $44. I want you to win. That's why I offer this service. I want you to win too. Hello and welcome to the Fat Jack Sports Hour. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, the Fat Jack. The weekend is here. It's OU Texas weekend. It's a huge weekend of college football in the middle of October. The trees are turning. Basketball starts soon. My gosh, come on. I mean, this is the time to be a sports fan. It's not just OU Texas. Huge NFL card going this week. Lots of college games we're going to get to and much, much more. Let me bring in my co-op playoff baseball. Again, Mr. Brandon Rush from Louisville, Kentucky. How are you, buddy?
I'm swell. I'm manifesting cooler weather because it is October after all. It shouldn't be in the 80s anywhere. But yeah, all the things you mentioned, football. You got basketball. Preseason is underway. Hockey is underway. Playoff baseball. This is the meatiest time of the sports betting calendar. Breeders' Cup around the corner. This is a fun time to be betting on sports and to be a client of the service.
Yeah, FatJackSports.com, and this week's particularly fun. If you didn't take advantage of the preseason rates, you didn't take advantage of the seasonal rates or the yearly rates, which are they're great deals, less than about $60 a week when you plan ahead to win money betting on sports. But if you didn't do any of that, you were sitting around and you thought, you know what, I'm Kenny Rogers, I'll go ahead and take care of this. This is your week now that you've decided that this is harder than you thought it was. So go to FatJackSports.com. Let me get it out there quickly, and then we're going to talk about last week, talk about this week, all the games and all the stuff. So FatJackSports.com, two different packages that are available this week that are not available for the rest of the year or most of the rest of the year. We may run it one more time during the course of football. The first one, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, $44. This is not the better one. I'm starting with this one because this is for the lower players the guys that just for whatever reason don't believe it's worth investing in winners because of the amount they bet. That is not true. If you're even a $50 a game player, now if you're below 50, you're right. I would not spend a lot of time signing up for a service of any kind because I would just plan on losing a little bit of money every year and using it for entertainment. But if you play more than $50 a game, it's invaluable to sign up for the service at FatJackSports.com. But if you didn't already, it gets more expensive once we get in football, obviously. We're having a great start to the season. We're going to talk about last week here in a minute, but great start to the season. Everybody who's on those season packages is winning. And so I'm not running a lot of huge discounts other than this one here. $44 for Saturday and Sunday. You get 4 college games for Saturday. College plays on Saturday have gone 4-2 or better every week except one. And they went 3-3 that week, and they have a 6-0. So they've won money just basically every week this year. The 4 college games, 4 NFL games, and 4 players props. So that's not going to get you the whole card, but it's going to get you a taste. You're going to be able to walk up.
If you've been on the fence, you've never been a part of the service before, or you just have got your teeth kicked in this year, this is a nice little appetizer to kind of ramp you up into a better path to win money going forward.
Build some profit this weekend, and then next week sign up for a longer package to save yourself some money and consistently get picks. So a lot of you guys, I know you've been sitting there waiting on this because we get emails about it all the time, but we just don't do it. It's worth a lot more. To win betting on sports costs money. $44 this weekend gets you 4 NFL, 4 college, 4 players props on the website. Don't need to call anybody. Don't need to email anybody. Go sign up. It's automatic. You'll immediately get the plays for the weekend and get you into profit.
No special code needed. Add to the cart, check out, boom.
First one on the list is like going to Amazon, except you're going to get winning stuff that's going to build you money versus boxes that are going to take your money away. You'll sell
slave labor. Yeah, none of that.
You'll sell in a garage sale later. The better deal, get the whole weekend through Monday. All right, and this is important, Brandon, because the players' props, and that's going to transition me after we give this price out in this package, but all the plays through Monday, football and the free baseball playoffs that are off to a great start in the playoffs. So get that package. You're going to get the players' props free this week. So this weekend, and they made about 15 games of profit last week. They are up about 15 games of profit this week. You're going to get those for free. You don't have to wait till Saturday. This is not a Saturday, Sunday deal. If you listen to the show or listen to the podcast or hear the commercials on Monday or Tuesday, sign up through Monday on the website at fatjacksports.com. You get all the football, all the baseball playoffs for free, and you're going to get all the players' props for free through Monday. That is going to definitely get you deeper into profit. And then on Monday or Tuesday, you'll be able to sign up for a longer package. FatJackSports.com, sign up today and win. All right, talk about last week. Let's do that. I hate doing that, but it's the most important week to talk about last week. When we have a losing week, it's important to say we had a losing week. And we, Brandon, as you know, don't have a lot of losing weeks. Again, this is another one of those. I could spin it any way we want.
we could have come on the air today and talked nothing except, hey, we turned a profit in soccer this weekend, and hey, players props continue to deliver week after week after week.
I could have shamed the people for not having the full package with all the picks. If you did,
you missed out on a 7-0 Thursday night last week.
And sorry, and 10 games of profit or more. Where's my sheet? 9 games of profit on Sunday. That's players prop profit. And we recommend you play half, so divide that number in half, but you're still up 7 or 8 extra games just if you play half on the player. I could shame on that. I could say, you're not doing that. Why aren't you doing that? It doesn't cost us like $20 a week when you sign up to the Super Bowl to get all that
Instead,
money.
We're going to talk about the elephant in the room.
Talk about the elephant in the room, but we had a bad Sunday. We won Monday. We won Thursday. And what is it? We won Monday, we won Thursday again. Our Monday, Thursday records are incredible.
2 weeks in a row.
And by the way, those are NFL plays. So it's not.
And those pay the exact same as games that are on Saturday or Sunday or Thursday or Friday or Tuesday.
They all count the same in football. So we lost 3 games of profit, 3 units of profit on Sunday. And so what? I don't care. You don't care. Most of the clients that are on the year don't care. But sometimes you're going to lose betting on sports, and sometimes you're going to lose on Sunday. And do I like to lose on Sunday? No. I hate losing on Sunday. It's the worst. It's the worst. You can lose.
I would rather lose on a Thursday. I would rather lose on a Friday. Yeah, because it sets, it Sunday is supposed to be the day. Hey, that's the day we're relaxing. We got football on. We got games kicking off in London at 9 a.m. We're immersed in this all day, and then
or we've got our foot on their throat, which is the other way to put it. We've won Monday, Thursday. We won Saturday most of the time, and Sunday is payday. Sunday, you run off a 3-1, 4-0, and that hammers the week. And more times than not, that's what you get on Sunday out of us over the last 20 years. And last year, it was like literally 9 weeks in a row, 3-1, 4 of just huge profit in the NFL. This week has been tougher. We've had some bad luck. We've had a few bad picks on Sunday. No big deal. And by the way, again, here's the difference between my Sunday. I lost $30,000 on Sunday, Brandon, in football. What could
just on the football pick, just on sides and totals,
just on our football package. That's why I have such an impatience for clients that sign up, and that's why I don't even read them anymore. I don't read any of it. I give them to you, and you deal with it. I didn't win, and I paid for picks and boo-hoo. I'm trying to win. Everybody's trying to win. Nobody's trying to lose. And most of the time we're winning. Every time we're winning. And sometimes we have a bad day. I lost $30,000 on Sunday in the NFL. The difference between my Sunday and somebody else's Sunday might be, besides the fact I've received all of the other picks all the way back, is that I won $45,000 on the players' props this last week. So I'm up $15,000 on football with the players' props over the week. If you count Sunday as my losses, and that don't count the profit from Monday, the profit from Thursday. So I don't care at all. But I had a bad Sunday also. Nobody wants to give away money on Sunday. It happens, and as a handicapper and as a sports gambler, and frankly, as a human being, I feel like it's important to point that out and point it out more than anybody else would. I say it, and I'm going to go on the air this week on stations around the country. I'm going to do a TV show. I'm going to talk about all of that in person, up front. I will not lead in with how great everything's doing, and I will start by saying discipline, money management, don't overreact. You're going to have losing days. How you handle losing days will have a lot more to do with your long-term success than how you handle winning days. Everybody's good at winning. Nobody likes to lose, but how you handle the losses will have a lot to do with how you do over the course of the season. And if you want to win long-term, fatjacksports.com, especially this week $44 for the football, four NFL, 4 college, 4 players props, or get the weekend. Get through Monday. You're going to get all. We're going to have 25 or 30 players props on Sunday alone. Last Sunday we went 18 and 11 in the players props, and we were very close to doing a 21 and 8. I mean, really, really close. And we were set with 6 and 0 on Thursday. So you want to get all the players props. Get them all. They're not going to cost much money, and you're going to get money now. You're going to get all the players props, all the picks, everything. You're going to get deeper into profit. But one of those two at FatJackSports.com. All right, what jumped out last week, and then we have to quickly jump into this week because there are lots of big games going this week, Brandon. College or football, what jumps off the page?
Who had the worst result to the weekend? The Arizona Cardinals or Penn State? We were ready last week to be like, hey, you know what? We can't fault James Franklin for losing to a very good Oregon team. Then they go to UCLA and just get embarrassed.
I laughed out loud.
You and me both.
I thought about the show. We were trying to give grades.
You're like, hey, you've had a bad run of luck. You never show up in big games. Oregon's a great team. Don't feel bad.
Could have gone
you know
either
what?
way. Keep your head up.
Feel bad. Anybody who I was ready to find like firejamesfranklin.com and see if anybody just wanted a donation to keep the site running because my goodness.
Who is having a worst week? James Franklin or Bill Belichick?
Who's having a worse week? Bill Belichick or Mark Sanchez? I mean, there's a lot going on in the world of football right now.
We've seen the bottom. we are living at the bottom right now. Yeah, it's how low can we go? I mean, Mark Sanchez threw his life away over a drunken stupor with a delivery driver. Who had that on their bingo card? That's no fun.
Goodness.
Bill Belichick, we're going to bet against. I saw on Instagram he got fired. He didn't get fired, right? That was clickbait. No. I hate social media, Brandon.
I honestly think that if the data centers that power social media sites went down for a day, 24 hours, nature would start healing a bit. We'd be a lot better.
I'm thinking about getting rid of some or all of it, and this has nothing to do with me personally. It puts me in a worse mood. Now TikTok doesn't. I'm on this thread of old women feeding bears that walk up on their porch. And the ranger comes and says, "Hey, you can't feed this wildlife." She said, "This isn't wildlife. This is Harry. He comes every winter for 8 winters and gets fed before he takes a nap," and starts screaming at the park ranger because she's feeding this bear that's like 800 pounds. I'm in that, so that gives me some joy.
That's your alley in social media.
That and the other one that's kind of funny right now. And we got so much sports. The other one on TikTok that got me right now is in my feed is homosexual people that there was a sign early, where they're younger and there was a sign, and then they put up a picture of them like in a boa with a boa or in high heel boots,
just being very, very just out there.
This was spoiler alert. It's a spoiler alert thing. And so you see them now and they look like normal people. This is there were some signs early on. They put a picture. I think that's super funny too. We had a kid that played with my daughter that wore dresses every single time she came over, or he came over. Every time he came over, he wore dresses, and then his older brother would get mad at him for wearing the dresses and the high heels and stuff. And FatJackSports.com. Let's get to the football. All right, and you're right. We got some bottom of the barrel type stuff. Texas also. So identity crisis is going on, and we'll get to OU Texas coming up as we head through the show. We're going to give away a free play on that game. But we have a few identity crises coming on, good and bad. Where is Texas? I guess we're going to find out this weekend, Brandon.
I mean, if they fall to 3-3, I mean, that's going to be identity crisis for sure. That is a program which right now obviously has put a lot of stock into Arch Manning, and just assuming that the brand that is Texas football is just going to carry them. They still don't have a win against a Power 4 conference team, and we are midway through October.
Jim, Brandon, if they lose here, they're out of the playoffs. They're out.
By far.
So
absolutely.
They are on a must. If you're in the SEC, you get a nice safety net. If you're Texas, you get a bigger safety net.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're not talking right now about Texas Tech. I'm talking about Texas Tech. We're making a ton of money on Texas Tech. But we're not talking about Texas Tech because they're Texas Tech. They have to earn their way into the conversation, even though I think they have across the board. They
The
spent about
clearest path too.
and they spent about the same money that Texas did on their roster. And that's
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
We're not talking about them. We're talking about Texas. Oh, what do they need to do? But I will tell you, Brandon, you look ahead at these lines this weekend. You've got Texas, that's only a 3-point favorite against Oklahoma down in Dallas. You've got Georgia, that is a 3.5-point favorite at Auburn. There's some fishy lines here. The SEC is stacked, and there's parity everywhere. Ole Miss, Tennessee, they are looking at us saying, what about us? We are that next step. Alabama, a 3.5-point favorite at Missouri. So we've got some games. The SEC is going to be a muddled mess. This playoff is going to be awesome because we have a bunch of teams that are very evenly matched. Ohio State's clearly looking like they're the class of the Big Ten, but they're going to run through their schedule, and we're going to say what's their best win. And if they don't play, like I said, they play Oregon or something in the championship game or whatever, we're going to throw that Texas win out, right? I mean, if Texas loses another game or two, we're going to say, yeah, that was okay. But we talked about this last week, and I talked about it around the country. Texas didn't have a good win, and I talked about Penn State not having a good win, and with on a couple of the markets, I pointed that out. Who has a better win between Penn State and Texas? And these teams have identity crises. They both went on the road and lost. So we may not be talking about either of these teams in the playoffs. It opens it up for that second-tier group, Michigan, to try to come out.
Indiana, maybe. Indiana. They have a huge test this weekend to get at Oregon. I mean, statement opportunity for them.
It's probably an Oregon, Ohio State out of the Big Ten and nobody else right now. We're in the middle of October. It's kind of a state of the sport deal. And then out of the Big 12, your guess is as good as mine. If Alabama loses, again, these numbers tell you a little bit. I'll tell you this. My prediction right now, either Alabama or Georgia or Texas lose, and maybe two of the three. So we're running into some elimination spots.
Missouri's been an interesting team over the last few years. They're the Texas A&M of the Midwest. They perpetually fail, even though they think that they invented the sport. There's some intriguing ones because Alabama could go there and stumble. Who was the other team you mentioned?
Georgia, Texas, and Alabama.
I say two of the three lose.
That's what I'm saying. And we're talking about getting into some elimination spots with these type things. Texas is on elimination doorstep. Alabama has a loss early. They're not Georgia, but if the loser of that has to then run the table, and they're not playing each other right now. These two teams are playing teams they're supposed to beat, right?
Yep.
I mean,
but on the road or neutral site.
Preseason
could be a big weekend.
Your point, if you're looking at these schedules and you're saying wins, loss, win, loss, like people do, you're putting a win next to Georgia and next to Alabama in these games
automatically.
That the numbers come down, so it's going to get real for the SEC coming up because
it's going to get real quick.
Tennessee and Ole Miss are still in this conversation. They're both super dangerous for different reasons, and we haven't even discussed Texas A&M because they're the Penn State of the SEC. Everybody kind of loves to hate them. But they're doing some winning right now. This team did go to Notre Dame. And how do you put Notre Dame in?
And not A&M.
And not A&M if they do what they're supposed to do. We expect them to fall. They're not falling right now. They get a Florida team that has a good win but is prone to turnovers at home. You get A&M at home. So I'm just saying things are getting serious in college football. Go to FatJackSports.com if you want to win this weekend. We're going to have another great week. The biggest surprise to me, not surprise, but the biggest undervalued team right now, and I mentioned earlier, is Texas Tech. They play at home against Kansas. This team is for real, Brandon, and they are going to make the playoffs, in my opinion. I don't even think it's close. And they may win a game or two. And I've got a $1,000 ticket at 80 to 1 because they do things right. They are very good defensively. They fly to the ball. And offensively, they can run. They look like a team that isn't wearing Texas Tech jerseys.
Yeah, if you just watched the team play, they didn't have a logo on the helmet or the Texas Tech on the front of the jerseys, you would think this is a Utah. You would think this is a team much more above the punching weight that Texas Tech is normally at.
Yeah, so they're going to come in a little bit like even more. They're going to come in like an ACC winner. So whoever comes out of the ACC, normally we're like, yeah, but you won, but. That's kind of where they're going to be. They're going to have some decent wins. probably going to have to beat Utah again in the Big 12 championship game. But, you look at these teams out of the Big 12, Brandon, and nobody's just jumping off the page. I mean, Colorado stinks. Kansas State can't get out of their own way. They're winning some, covering some now, but they were horrible. Kansas is very one-dimensional, very good offensively, not defensively. Utah balanced, but already lost to this team on their home field. That's a very evenly matched game. Things get a little more interesting if they were to – Utah could beat them. I mean, that game was close for a long time. But this Texas Tech team, what are they right now to win the national championship? Look that up for me while we're running through the Big 12.
That is a very good question. They got some big games coming up, too, because they are they got Arizona State, and then they've got BYU on the schedule still,
so
too.
that's like a fifth grader fighting a fourth grader, or a high schooler fighting a high schooler, and really there's MMA fighters standing on deck. I mean, yeah, it's tough for them, but those two games you said, they're tough for them. But they're not playing what the SEC's running through. I mean, how about this? Texas Tech against Texas. Are they better than Texas?
I mean, they've got obviously better wins. And they look the old eye test. Yeah, they look a lot better than Texas.
So I mean, but where are they in the SEC? That's the whole thing. This ticket that you're getting ready to say, I'm going to guess it's 30-1 now. What are they?
Ranges anywhere from 30 to 25, depending on the book.
So if you listen to this show regularly or get the podcast, you got it 80-1 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
Now you got an 80-1 ticket on a ticket that you're going to be able to make money on no matter what. That's just free. That's free. If you're driving to Texas right now, you're crossing into another stupid state that doesn't have sports gambling. It doesn't help you. So if you can find a place to bet the futures, get Texas Tech. There's still good value at 30-1. 30-1 is where we were getting all of the NFL stuff that we do this exact same thing with the preseason. We're still
where we got Clemson last year preseason, and we're able to hedge out of them in the playoffs
and make money. And hedge out means guaranteed money. That's all that means to you. When we say hedge out, we're guaranteeing ourselves, but whatever you bet, you're at least going to double that money. That's what I'm going to, and I'll walk you through it. So if you can bet Texas Tech to win the national championship, do it right now. It's free money, in my opinion. FatJackSports.com. Get signed up today. $44 weekend, 4 college, 4 NFL, 4 players props. Better yet, get all the players props. We had 29 last Sunday. We had 28 the Sunday before. You're going to get 25 to 30 players. If you're playing on Underdog or Prize Picks or any of those,
or you just like throwing together same game parlays because you're up.
You need to throw it together. That's the whole thing, Brandon. What I've been analyzing the players props, and the reality is they're running in game so I'm dominating a game or I'm losing in a game, but I'm just dominating more games than I'm losing the players props. So last week in the New York Giants Miami game, the Miami game, I was 2-0. In the Thursday night game, I was 6-0. In the Tampa Bay game against Seattle, I was 3-1. In the Cincinnati-Detroit game, I was 3-1. I was 2-1 on Sunday night with New England and Buffalo. So the losing are Indianapolis, and Las Vegas. I was 0-2. That's really the only one that I didn't at least push. But the point is that if you play the same game parlays and you're just even a little bit lucky, you're going to win a bunch of those. And you get up 2, 3, 4 to 1, you're paying good money. So you only have to hit a few of those, and I'm going to hit a few of those. So go to FatJackSports.com. You get a bunch of parlays that you can play in those in-game. If you're driving to Dallas or whatever, there is sports gambling. You just have to do it this way. It's better than guessing on your own. And you get those players props very inexpensive. So get this week's picks. Get the players props for free. Don't use the picks if you don't have a place to bet, or find your buddy wherever you are in the country and bet with them. We got to take a break real quick?
We do.
Let's take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk OU Texas because I'm excited about that. We're going to talk about Alabama Missouri a little bit. We're going to talk about Georgia Auburn a little bit. I'm going to give away a free winner in the OU Texas game, and we're going to talk about Arkansas Tennessee. All of that coming up after the break. If I get to half of it, we're ahead of the game. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Fat Jack Sports Hour.
Before the ball is tipped or a shot is even taken, before the crowd explodes or history's made.
If you're going to bet, have a game plan. Bet legally, set limits, and keep it fun.
When gambling becomes a problem,
visit responsibleplay.org to find help.
Hey guys, this is the Fat Jack. Are you finally ready to get a better plan betting the games this year? Let me help. Go to FatJackSports.com, where we understand that it's not the gambling she hates, it's the losing. FatJackSports.com.
If you want to stay in touch with everything related to the Fat Jack, follow us on all the socials: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, you name it, we are there at Fat Jack Sports. You can also watch the Fat Jack Sports Hour on YouTube every week. Get free winners and tips on how to become a better sports bettor. Plus, see Jack's appearances on the nationally syndicated TV show Beat the Odds. Stay connected with the Fat Jack Sports Service at Fat Jack Sports on all the socials and on YouTube.
Welcome back to the Fat Jack Sports Hour, and now here is our host guiding us through the next 55 days of football. You wake up, there's something to bet on. He is the Fat Jack.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Fat Jack Sports Hour segment number 2. You know, with the full package where you get all-inclusive package, it's that almost every day anyway. Between soccer that goes during the week most of the year, they're on the English Premier League's on a break. Soccer's not been as good this year. But it couldn't have been.
Hasn't been the 100 unit success that we saw the last 12 months, but it's turning a profit.
Yeah, squeaking out a little problem. We were up like 35 games at this time.
This time last year.
Between September 1st and now, we'd already made like 35 games. Like, oh, it's amazing. Well, there are we've got some extra time bad beats, 2 or 3 in the last 2 or 3 weeks where it swung a day. We were going to go 5-1, going 3-3 or whatever, and literally the 90th plus 6th minute, where we had one day both at the same time. We were winning both, and they both within the last 2 minutes of the game swung. Now, we did benefit from one of those on this weekend. On Saturday, we got a late in Everton,
yes.
I think. We got
Everton came in late, scored a 96th minute goal, yeah.
So we ended up winning that, and they were plus money. They're plus 155. That's the other great thing about the soccer is you get plus money a lot of times, 2-1, 2.5-1, those type of things. I love that stuff.
With that, that three-way betting is definitely beneficial when you're on the right side of it.
Exactly, and it does let you weekday betting, weekday games to play and more build that profit. It's very inexpensive when you're getting those all-inclusive packages. When you're getting the packages that include all the sports. The elite package, those plays are killing it again this year. They won again last week. Those are all things that I don't talk a lot about because they're kind of niche for guys that want to actually build profit, deep profit, and are higher gamblers. But if you're that, now is the time to get on board with those. FatJackSports.com. Very inexpensive when you divide them up like the players props on the seasonal package. It's about $20 a week. UFC about $20 a week or less. Soccer, $25 a week. Very inexpensive when you add those to your football package. Now, basketball starts in less than 10 days. Get signed up. We're going to send out our season stuff, and those plays are about $20 a week when you sign up and add them to your football package. Those combo packages long-term are great deals right now at FatJackSports.com. Did you see the Alabama girl kick on game day on Saturday morning? Did you happen to catch that?
I saw a ripped clip of it on Instagram, I want to say, but yeah, that was Pat's giving away some cash.
She was the most Alabama. That was the most Alabama thing I've seen all year. At being from Oklahoma, it's like being a 5 and looking at the 3s and saying, I'm so much hotter than you are. You know, you look at the 3, it's like, God, look at you, man. You got 4 ears. You're so ugly. Yet I'm a 5.
Pull it together, man.
Yeah, pull it together. Come on. What are you doing to the gutter? Being from Oklahoma, it's not like somebody says, oh, my gosh, the scholars of the world they're from Oklahoma. Everybody's from Oklahoma
right.
that's intelligent. But there's a
48th in education, but
that's right. But there's a few states you look at and you say, they're dumber than me, you know, as a state. And Alabama's one of them. Mississippi, Alabama, I'm talking to you guys, sorry. But if you're in Oklahoma, you look at those states, you say, I'm so much smarter than you jackasses. You're inbred, I'm not. I mean, those type of things. You put West Virginia, that's one. Everybody from here is so much smarter than what. Alabama's field goal kicker was so Alabama. This girl weighed 300 pounds soaking wet. Love her, queen, absolute queen. She's a bioengineer major. They ask her, have you ever kicked before? No. Like, never kicked the ball. You can go to anybody in the stands, find some high school soccer player, which we've seen a few times, and you're not splitting 5,000. You're splitting 100,000 that sometimes goes to half a million.
6 figures.
These are life-changing numbers for these people. It'll pay your whole education. She says, no thanks. I'm going to kick it.
And part of me respects that. Part of me is like, you know, but she made a good point. I'm the one who stood in line. I'm the one who got chosen. I'm going to be the one to do
You're
this.
the one.
I
not
appreciate
gonna win.
her.
She had 0% chance of making it. You're the one giving away $100,000.
I fully understand that. However, like I said, a small part of me appreciates the like, hey, I made myself. I put in the work. I'm going to take the chance. I wouldn't do it
to me,
if it were me.
Brandon, that makes her the stupidest person I've ever met. I mean, if she was doing it for a free buffet at the Golden Corral, yeah, kick it and go. If she was playing for a trophy or a wall of fame, something stupid, absolutely. But this is life-changing money for a 23-year-old person. Get $50,000, put it in the bank. Don't do a thing. You're retiring when you're 50.
Yeah.
Don't do anything. Just put it in the bank. Go about your life. Graduate. Do your thing. You're going to retire when you're 50, and you're going to be a millionaire for sure. Time is the great. Anyway, this girl, no thanks. I've never kicked. I have 0% chance, but I got here at 3:00 in the morning. I got the ticket. I want the world to see me kick the ball 5 yards, which is exactly what she did. It did not get airborne. It was like an onside kick that didn't go 10 yards.
It was a nice little squib.
And they go, oh, no. I wanted to just rip my face off. To her, for some reason, God shined down on her and said, you know what? You're so stupid that I'm going to take care of you because you're that dumb. McAfee, I don't know how that money's structured. He cannot possibly be giving away his own money. He's giving away $500,000. I know they say
it's all tax write-off stuff. That goes as a donation, and then
whatever it is, he looks over and says, hey, if what's his face, Herbstreit can throw the ball through the upright, I'll give you $100,000. Herbstreit rears back, throws it over, which was actually a really nice throw. But that was the most Alabama thing I've seen in a long time. Some girl rolling out, just say, no thanks, I don't want the money. When she could have at least got somebody who might have made it, and she was so lucky that they did. Anyway, I don't know what brought that up.
I don't either.
It's because it was irritating me. Honestly, it's irritating me all week.
I could tell it was just like the angel devil on the shoulder, and you're like, you know what? This is just going to keep speaking in my ear until I say something.
That
about
and three games of loss on Sunday did it. I mean, that ruffled my feathers.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not a peacock today. Oklahoma, Texas. Listen, Oklahoma's an auto bet on the under. It's your first free winner of the day. Not only is Texas not great offensively, not only is Arch Manning having trouble moving the ball, and I do think there will be some success, and this will not be a release play. The total's down, and so I do think there's a chance it goes over. But if you're just looking at the game and not wanting to try to figure out who's going to do something that they haven't done yet this year, and that's what you're asking. So if you're going to bet on Texas, you're saying, all right, I know the OU defense has been good, top 3 or 5 in the country. I know
they are number one in a ton of metrics,
but they haven't played anybody. That's what you'd say if you're betting Texas. You say, they haven't played anybody.
Yeah.
We're better than they are, and we played some people. Florida's much better than who they've played. We lost Alabama. That's the best team that Oklahoma would have lost to them by. That's what you would say if you're going to bet Texas. But you have to admit that you're going to have to ask Arch Manning to do something that he has not done, which is in the face of pressure. From a very good defensive line. I said this about Florida, and I went on around the country, said Florida's got a good chance to beat them. Told Jim Traver that. They have a good chance to beat them because their front four will get after you, and that's exactly what they did. Oklahoma's the same. They're going to bring pressure. They're going to get in his face. Does he make good? So if you don't want to do that, the easier plays under, because Oklahoma's living under. Mateer's not going to play, right? Even if he does play, I don't think he's going. I know they're still up in the air, but I don't think he's going to play.
I would be surprised if he comes in and plays 17 days post-surgery.
So even if he does play, I don't think that's a guarantee it goes over. They're not the fastest show on turf. This is a defensive run football team.
Mm-hmm.
Last time they played a good team was Michigan, Auburn, and they both were way under. It wasn't even close. Punt the ball away, play defense, see what happens. Texas 1-6 against the spread their last 7 games. Oklahoma only 4-9 against the spread their last 13 in the series. They've only covered 4 of the last 13 in the series. The line setters do a pretty good job of picking this number most of the time. Lower scoring game, think 23-20, somewhere in that range. I think this game, 23-20 is over. So 21-18.
21-19, yeah. Now, did it surprise you that Texas opened as a favorite?
No.
Especially 3.5?
Not at all.
Okay. Why is that?
Because
to the general public.
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't think OU's played anybody.
Okay, so I would think the general public would look at this game and see like, oh, Texas is coming off a loss. They're 3-2. Oklahoma's 5-0.
Oklahoma's
I would
backup.
think the general public would be surprised that Texas is favored.
OU fans will be surprised. OU fans think
Sure.
they're going to win the national championship. I mean, they're already
They do.
already got their tanning package ready for Miami for South Beach late in January. But no, Oklahoma hasn't played anybody, and who they have played, they haven't scored against. So
Okay.
Michigan, Auburn, the two best games. You could say they should have lost Auburn. I mean, if things go, at least it should have been a toss-up.
They get one penalty call not called.
They play again. That game's around a pick.
Mhm.
It's not. OU's not a big favorite over them. They beat Michigan. And what's Michigan? Michigan isn't great. Certainly not offensively. Neither is Texas. I'm not saying that Texas is going to win, but smart gamblers will look defense first, and they'll play the under here. That's why the total's low. It should have been 44.5, 45, something like that. If you look at the seasonal numbers on what this should be, it's down to 42.5 and probably going to go a little bit lower because that's where the money's going to go off guys that know what they're doing. So that's your free winner under the total, Oklahoma, Texas. FatJackSports.com, $44. I will most likely throw in information on that game. This show runs around the country. I have more clients from around the country than do Oklahoma. But there's a couple times a year when I become an Oklahoma person. I have been to 30-something OU Texas games. Some of my best memories as a child were OU Texas games. In high school, OU Texas games. Seeing my friends do things that were so inappropriate. Down on Commerce Street. Were you too?
Deep Ellum has some stories.
Are you too young for Commerce Street, Brandon? Did you go to Commerce?
No. I was at the very tail end of that. There was once a thing where pretty late, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. There were rubber bullets dispersed by Dallas PD.
Lots of rubber bullets and lots of fire hoses. They would run down Commerce with
pepper
the
spray,
full-blown fire hoses and spray off anybody there. That became the policy after about midnight because it became a fighting and looting deal. After everybody walked. For those of you who don't, OU Texas back in the day, you would walk around, I think it was a half mile or a mile, whatever it was, and you would basically walk around. It's a pregame pep rally around this street called Commerce. Walk down one side, cross over, walk down the other. And you would chant or cheer or whatever, and then the little skirmishes would break out. It was a whole thing. You couldn't do it now because everybody's packing heat. I mean, everybody's got a gun down there now, and they'd be just firing into the crowds. But back in the day when it was fisticuffs and nobody was an MMA fighter, you basically, now you're going to get choked out or shot if you're walking around Commerce screaming, yeah, you, we're going to beat you, that whole thing. And then you go to the fair. It's one of the great sporting weekends of and basically go to the fair, take your kids, go to the ring toss, get a corn dog, funnel cake, and then go into this old beat-up stadium where people are sliding around in the urinals. I mean, the whole thing is just it's such an Oklahoma, Texas deal. But anyway, what was I saying? I become an Oklahoma person, so we're going to talk a little bit about OU Texas this weekend for sure because I absolutely love. And so if you're around the country, think of the most ridiculous inbred thing in the world, and that's what that game was back in 1984 when the impressionable young Fat Jack is down there staying at the Hilton with his mom saying, Mommy, why can't we go down and walk on? I wasn't 14. I was like 9. But why can't we go down and walk around? She said, because somebody will kill you. You literally.
I would say 1999 through 2002-ish. It still was that. Yeah,
so it's a great weekend. It's still good. It's still a good weekend, but people are so much more dangerous, and they have to control things more because of, everybody's John Wayne. So now we're all got guns. Everybody's going to get shot. So
go to the fair. Don't worry about the night before.
Funnel cakes are still awesome. Hate the ticket thing there, but I get it. Somebody's stealing from somebody. You got to get the tickets, but go to the fair. It's great. So under the total in that game, great game to watch. Much better game to watch, I think it is to bet on, especially with the Oklahoma quarterback situation. This show we tape early in the week. We'll see how it kind of progresses as we go through the week. The other big game, Arkansas, Tennessee. Arkansas is one of those teams, Brandon, that I think they phoned it in. I don't understand why this number's not more. Tennessee scores against everybody. They're 13.5-point favorite against Arkansas. Total 69.5. The total in this one also, I think, is a better spot. But I don't understand why this number's not higher. Arkansas, college players don't quit. But like with North Carolina, all right, we hammered Clemson last week. Up 1,000-0 at halftime. I mean, Bill Belichick, every time he was asked about his team, every time, all week long, he moved to our recruiting class. We've got some kids we're going to get on campus, blah, 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 blah. He was on the game day doing the same thing. It's all about next year, all about getting better players. Translation, our kids here suck at football.
Right.
They're
The,
not
the
any good
kids
at football.
that are in that locker room back there,
Not good at
not
football.
good.
Not good at football. And by the way, I have an NFL staff that has no idea how to deal with bad football players because we're used to always having
or recruits.
and more importantly, bad players that are on your team. I know he wants to go up and say, dude, you stink at football. How do you even get on this team? That's what he wants to say to some of these kids. His whole focus is on getting players for the future to be better. We're going to bet against North Carolina almost every time that we possibly can. Anybody can score even remotely because I don't think you can turn that around as NFL staff, which is what he has. Similar to Arkansas. Arkansas does not have great football players on campus. You're going to get good effort, but Tennessee in Knoxville should beat them by well more than 2 touchdowns, I would think. So the better play in this game, Tennessee over 9 of their last 9 games, going over every week. Arkansas 1-4 against the spread their last 5, but 5-1 to the over their last 6. So they are giving up a ton of points. Defense not traveling. That's a combined 14-1 to the over, these two teams this year, going back into last year. So we're going to go over this. It's a reason why it may be 70 by the time this game kicks off. But the reason it's 69.5 is because Arkansas they have offensive players that can score, especially against backups. And Tennessee's going to score against everybody, especially the Arkansas defense. So over the total, Tennessee, Arkansas, free winner number 2 of the segment. FatJackSports.com. Sign up today and get the $44 special. $44, 4 college games, 4 NFL games, 4 players props, or better yet, get the entire weekend, no matter when you sign up, Monday, Tuesday, whenever, you get the players props for free all the way through next Monday when you sign up for any football package through Monday. That is a great deal. They've been averaging about 10 games of profit per week over the last 2 or 3 weeks. And Brand, people don't know this out there, but when you get the players props, it says for the first 4 weeks, play 25% of your football wager for the first 4 weeks, then go to 50%. And that is because we get really, really good at players props come October. And we're going to make a lot of money in October, November, December in the players props. That's going to continue to happen. It's not a coincidence that we made about 10, more than 10 this last. We're up 13 going into Monday night. Last week before we made about 10. We're going to make 10 to 15 games. It sounds like a lot, but it is, and it's true.
Yeah.
We're going to make about 10 games of profit per week just from the players props. Probably on average through the rest of the season. I mean, we'll probably have a week or 2 we don't, but that volume, there's some volatility there, but I'm not going to be wrong in all these games. So we're gonna be able to scrape out 5 or 6 on a bad week, average about 10, and we're going to have a few where we make 15, 16, 20 games of profit just in the props. They cost about $20 a week when you sign up for the season, or they're free this week. So FatJackSports.com. What else we need to get
You get them for free this week. You look at Thursday, Sunday, and then there's a doubleheader on Monday night. You could easily get 30 players props with this package.
You're going to get more than 30. If you'll get more than 30. Honestly, Brandon, we had 20.
Yeah. When you think about it, we had 28 or 29 this past Saturday.
I'm not going to back off. I was going to back off. We're going to do laundry. Oh, come on, let's get after this. Let's get after this thing. We're going. If this is where the money's coming in, we're going to make the money.
We're going to do it.
So if we're going to go 0-3 or lose 3 games of profit on a Sunday, the last thing I'm going to do is not take advantage of the money that's coming in on these other sports. That's what people don't get. You're getting what I'm betting. So if I'm betting, if I'm going to lose $30,000 on a Sunday in the NFL, I'm going to make $45,000 on the weekend in props. That's how that's going to work, because my lifestyle cannot survive on $199, whatever the heck I'm making.
The $44 special is not going to pay for fuel.
How many $44 specials I got to fill up this yacht? I can't fill up 40. There's not enough $44 specials in the world. There's a lot of $44. I want you to win. That's why I offer this service. I want you to win too. Brandon wins. I win. My clients win over the season. They're winning a lot of money. I want you to win. So this is get involved, a baby step, and sign up for something longer.
Hey guys, this is the Fat Jack. Are you finally ready to get a better plan betting the games this year? Let me help. Go to FatJackSports.com, where we understand that it's not the gambling she hates, it's the losing. FatJackSports.com.
Welcome back to the Fat Jack Sports Hour. For the final time this week, here is our host. He is a professional. He is the Fat Jack.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Fat Jack Sports Hour, segment number 12. French-speaking people. That's 3. Thank you, Miss Williams. Teaching me French. Get signed up. $44 on du trois cat. Cat. I don't know what 44 is. But $44 weekend. Un deux trois cat. 4. $44 weekend. You get 4 players props, 4 NFL games, 4 college football games for $44 at FatJackSports.com. It's a fall deal for sure. Maybe another one around Christmas. We'll run this, but this is very, very unlikely that you'll see this again for a long time. Or the better deal, that only gets you 4 players props and only gets you 4 plays. We'll have more than 4 plays. We've averaged 6 on Saturday every week. We'll have at least 6 this week. College has been great overall. Or you get the whole weekend at the website, and when you sign up for football through Monday, you're going to get the players props for free. We talked about it before the break. You get about 25 or 30 of those. There will at least be 30 this weekend over Thursday, Sunday, Monday. So especially with the doubleheader on Monday. Last Monday, I think we had 12 or 2 when it was a doubleheader. We had 13 or 14 just on Monday. So FatJackSports.com. Get signed up today and win this weekend. What happened last week that you were surprised by? And let's look at this week, Brandon.
In terms of NFL stuff last week, I mean, Denver's win at Philadelphia was very impressive. I've been a Bo Nix hater for a while, dating back to the Auburn days when he went to Oregon. I didn't think that was going to work out, and he's continued to prove me wrong 3 years in a row. That is a franchise that I think is kind of doing things the right way. I'm not a big Sean Payton guy, but he's bringing in guys who fit his system and finds a way to win. That was probably the most impressive win of the weekend.
So before we move on to another one, was that more about Philadelphia, or was it more about Denver? Or can you decide right now? Because Philadelphia had underachieved against Dallas, blocked a field goal against the Rams to win late. They could have a couple of losses before this, and had underperformed. Everybody was saying, and basically Jalen Hurts is averaging about 160 yards a game passing. They're not giving it to Barkley. And so this team, you know what, they remind me a lot of Baltimore without the injuries. They seem to have lost their identity, especially offensively.
They've kind of forgotten what got them to this point.
Now maybe they get back to that, but was that more about them catching a Philly team that's like, hey, we're just doing what we do, we're underachieving, but we're fine? Or has Denver really taken that next step? What are your thoughts on that?
I would say it's probably 60-40. I would give credit more to what Denver has become than what Philly's doing. Your point's not missed though. Philly definitely doesn't feel like the Eagles teams that we've seen over the last 3 years, especially since Jalen's been there. That they kind of haven't been. They kind of been sleepwalking, and maybe the AJ Brown drama is a little bit more than they're willing to let on at this point.
Yeah, they look lost offensively to me, and they have for a number of weeks, and I have not bet them since the Dallas game. We played Dallas in the Dallas game. We have not played them since because they seem to me like a team that certainly isn't going to cover a lot of games, and they're going to lose a few unless they get more efficient offensively because their defense is, although good, last year's was incredible, not as good. And so that becomes a real question mark with I think you're right. It's probably 64. Denver's heading the right way. We've talked about that. They were that super sexy pick preseason that everybody liked. They're
showing it a little bit now.
A little bit, but going to need to keep it going. They need to back that up this week. They get a Jets team at home that scores some points. I mean, that's weird to hear from the Jets, but the Jets are one of those teams that look totally lost right now.
That game's in London. That's at Tottenham.
Yeah, so there you go. So Denver's got to travel. The Jets have to get up early. This is one of those games that you should beat the Jets, and you should beat them handily simply based on what we're seeing. And I think that's another coaching staff that's lost. We talk about Belichick. I think the coaching staff at the Jets they're lost. The guys jumping off sides, lining up the neutrals. I mean, just ridiculous things other than the barrage of other penalties. Also, who officiates that game will have a little bit to do with who we release. Because if they get Hockley or somebody like that, there will be 1,000 penalties.
1,000 penalties.
And they're going to be mainly on them. Denver will get a lot too, but that will hurt them. Their offensive output will be nothing if they get Hockley or one of those crews that just likes to see themselves, hear themselves talk on camera.
I saw a thing on Twitter that the standalone games, especially the primetime games that have been in the NFL, have been more highly penalized than any of the last than normal, we'll say. 19 accepted penalties in Thursday night and Monday night games. So the standalone games seem to be very referee centric.
Rolling my eye. Hockley is like Arch Manning. He's got a name that should be good at his job, but he stinks so far. I mean, come on. What do we do? I'm so sick of him. And by the way, he needs to do a little more arm day. I mean, you watch him when he does the incomplete pass. His guns, if you want to call them that, are jiggling now. So he better get back in the gym. If you're gonna bow up like that and want to see yourself on camera every time the wind blows, you're gonna call holding on somebody or something ridiculous. You better tighten that stuff up. That's all I'm saying. Hockley's letting it go, and I'm seeing too much of him when he's on the TV screen. This is the October conversation, by the way, Brad. This is what you do in October.
Right.
You find things to be pissed about that the rest of the year you're not pissed about.
We're mad at a college kid in Alabama and a referee's flabby arms. That's where we are right now.
Well, we're all blaming my abusive girlfriend this Sunday NFL slate. I mean, that's
we're
literally.
We're not talking Lions Chiefs Sunday night. No, we're gonna talk about this.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So let's get on to one more game. So, what's the game this week? Lions Chiefs. Chiefs won.
Lions Chiefs is a good one. Sneaky good one though. 49ers Buccaneers. Tampa finds a way to win yet again. San Francisco goes into LA with a bunch of ragtag, players and injury laden. They find a way to win. Now we get to maybe find out which team's real.
Huh? Who knew Tampa was going to be so good? All you do is listen to the show, right?
I mean, 30-something to 1.
Literally
in August.
In August, I told you they were going to be good. Told you the Rams were going to be good. I don't like the Rams' last loss, obviously, but the Rams still have a lot of the pieces if Stafford stays healthy. Kansas City 6-12 against the spread their last 18 games.
Oof.
They're better at home, but this is not a team that is just a model of consistency as far as covering numbers go. And they're getting a Detroit team that, after getting just smoked against Green Bay, has gotten it together. They're looking like the team from last year. Again, not a team I think we're talking about in February, but very dangerous. Nobody wants to play them. They're the crazy person off their meds in your city. You don't want to be locked in the closet with them because they will get some damage done if you're not. They're the Mark Sanchez of the league. I mean, don't catch him after walking out after cocktail after happy hour. You better be not parked in the tow zone, or it's going to be on. Is it too soon?
Maybe
I don't know. I mean, what kind of?
By the time the show runs, maybe not.
Maybe not. I got 4 days for that joke to land a little bit more squarely. It's not like I'm talking about the Holocaust. I'm just talking about Mark Sanchez and his lack of decision making, and that the Detroit Lions might be similar. That's all I'm saying, is that they will cut you if you're not careful.
Find Dan Campbell in an alley at 1 o'clock in the morning.
See where that gets you after happy hour.
Get your kneecaps bitten off.
Yeah, he will. That guy's going to do some damage. He's not going to quit either. Don't get up.
No.
Just lay there. So anyway, yeah, it's more the comparison with Detroit should be to the truck driver, not to Sanchez. Anyway, who do you like in the game?
Kansas City's tough to beat at home, but Detroit's playing at another level right now, especially offensively. I found it crazy that Jared Goff has now started more games for Detroit than he did for LA.
Yeah.
It's weird that divide in time. Of course, COVID did a lot of things, weird things to people's brains when it comes to the perception of time. But it feels like he hasn't been there that long. He's been a Lion longer. He's been a Ram, and that offense is clicking even without Ben Johnson.
It's kind of checking out, right? I mean, we definitely, when you players that leave, Baker Mayfield say the same thing. I mean, how was his career before Tampa versus now? I mean, that guy literally was like a crack addict that's now gotten off crack. I mean, just bottom of the barrel with all of his stops. I mean, he basically is flying in and playing for the Rams. I mean, his story is an amazing story after Cleveland and Carolina and just horrible, dysfunctional.
Well, look back at Cleveland. He took him to a playoff game. He won a playoff game. And then they were just like, oh, no, we're going to give a rapist money. But then he goes, he was a scout team defender in Carolina after getting benched. He goes to the Rams. And then, and now flourishing in Tampa.
The guy, I mean, one of the best in the league, probably going to make the Pro Bowl. I mean, just definitely just killing it in life. So you get a lot of that. Here's my problem with Kansas City. Defensively, they are not where they need to beat a team like Detroit. So unless they get turnovers here and Jared Goff goes back to being a little careless with the ball, or Dan Campbell does what Dan Campbell does, is go for it like on his own 35 or something, and they knock a pass down and get extra possessions. Kansas City, this is a bad matchup for them, if you ask me. Detroit's good on defense, especially if you're in a predictable down and distance with their edge rushers. And defensively, Kansas City is not good enough to stop Detroit consistently. So I'm with you. I would lean toward Detroit in that one, although it's so difficult to go win at Arrowhead.
Chiefs only a 1.5-point favorite though at home. That's kind of telling right there.
It tells you, that the line setters see what I see, that it's, their defense is going to give up some points that they had better execute. And you don't have to look that far back this season to see a team that looked kind of lost offensively with Kansas City. I mean, they had
one of the highest totals in the league this weekend.
Yeah, that's I can't stop you, but we think we can score enough. That's what that is.
Yep.
So everybody, the line setters believe Detroit's going to get theirs. It's can Kansas City get 2 more? That's how you cover that. So lean toward Detroit, and over probably the better play. FatJackSports.com. We're running out of time. You're driving to Texas. You're going to the big game. It's October. Basketball's coming. We're getting ready to have to fall back. Breeders' Cup at the end of the month. Breeders' Cup plays absolutely free when you sign up. Take a chance, guys. Go longer. If you're thinking about the $44 package, do that. If you're doing that, do that, because that's not going to get you everything, but it's going to get you in the game. You're going to build some profit. 4 college, 4 NFL, 4 players prop, $44. If you're doing anything else, go longer than you think, than you're comfortable with this time of year based on how you've done early in the year, and get all the picks. Nobody that's getting all the picks is not having a great year at the service. Guys getting all the picks had a big week last week. They won last week, had a great week, when we had our first real losing week with just football of the entire year. FatJackSports.com. Check the results tab. Get signed up and win. Final thoughts, Brandon?
Hockey season's here. I'm fired up. I got between hockey season, playoff baseball, we got a football game every day between now and December 1st, and basketball starting in a couple weeks. This is high heaven right here.
It's all here. Don't miss out. Guys, have a great week. Wager responsibly. Don't drink and drive. Get signed up at FatJackSports.com. And until next week, when we're going to have a ton to talk about, you've been listening to the Fat Jack Sports Hour.